I'm going from paying $122 per month to $853.05 per month for health insurance.
Michael, y'all just got to do better. There's no way I was paying almost $1,000 for insurance, and I call Progressive, and it's only $250 a month. Like, who do y'all think? First of all, who do y'all think y'all are? Because the last time I checked, State Farm was number one. Let's chat about it.
All right, the health insurance industry is an absolute sham. I don't know how I'm paying $1,500 a month for health insurance, but every single person in my policy has a $6,000 copay.
They ran it through my insurance. They called me and said, hey, your portion of it that you're going to have to pay after insurance is $5,100 for this MRI.
Let me show y'all my address. My insurance. But just opening my mail for my insurance that is renewing for 2026. Right now, I pay $122 per month for health insurance. Beginning January 1st, 2026, your monthly premium will be beginning January 1st, 2026. Your monthly premium will be, mind you, I pay $122 right now per month. Starting January, I will be having to pay where is it? You see that? $853.05 for health insurance. I'm going from paying $122 per month to $853.05 per month for health insurance. They have absolutely lost their fucking mind. They have absolutely lost their fucking mind. So guess what? A lot of people is about to be without health insurance. Because ain't no way. Ain't no way. I'm self-employed and I'm not about to pay $853 for health insurance. And that's just for me. This is completely insane. What is going on? What is going on?
Y'all, they playing in that lady face. Talking about 122 to 800 and something dollars. Man, no. There are going to be tons of people who are going to go without insurance if insurance is increasing like that. Are you kidding me? Are you joking? 800 and something? That's dang near half of some people's checks. That's dang near some people whole checks. So my question is, are we moving in a direction where insurance is now becoming unaffordable for most people? Are most Americans about to have to go without insurance? About to have to go without being able to protect themselves if something unforeseen happens in their lives? That's disgusting and despicable. Somebody needs to be held accountable for that. Liz says, we are considering canceling ours. I think if we all canceled, things would change. That might have some merit to it. Damar then says, the worst part is that it won't change. Since the tariffs, everything is going up and going to continue. Trump has an issue with China. China is not playing around. They don't want this to be happening to us. It's our damn president making ish like this. My goodness. Monica Duquette says, as much as I'm not a fan of him, the problem is and always will be, no matter who sits in that chair, the insurance companies and corporate greed. I think it's a balance of both. I think that politicians make decisions that incentivize corporate greed, and I also think the people at the head of these corporations are greedy themselves, and so we get the best or the worst of both worlds, and that results in the common man or common woman being absolutely distraught with things like $800 and something insurance policies. Stang Sister says, incorrect. Liz has the right idea. Insurance companies run off profit. No customers, no profit. Let them go bankrupt. Trump didn't author or approve the ACA that allowed insurance companies to set their own premiums. United Health just reported record profits in the billions, and 80% came from ACA/government subsidies. So there's a bit of a conversation happening here in these comment sections. What I will say though is that these insurance policies are getting out of hand. And if it's coming to the point where Americans can no longer afford if something bad happens to them, then I don't know where we're going as a nation. Let's keep going with the video.
Geico, y'all just got to do better. There's no way I was paying almost $1,000 for insurance and I call Progressive and it's only $250 a month. Like, who do y'all think? First of all, who do y'all think y'all are? Because the last time I checked, State Farm was number one. Let's chat about it. I'm a corporate Karen. Y'all know me. Hey, get corporate on the line. But I said I wasn't going to do that. I said I'm going to just call Geico and remove the vehicle. You know, I don't want to stress. I got a cheaper deal, baby. I don't even want to chat about it. Girl on the phone, first of all, she going to say, why you want to remove the Tesla? Did it get repossessed or something? Or you gave it back? Bookie, it's in the garage. Y'all just too high. But you know, I ain't take that as shade. You know, that's probably what she had to ask. So me and her got into it a little bit. Because sister, I had to call her sister on the phone. When I started calling her sister, she understood. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, don't make me get with it on the phone. Like, hey, I'm being calm. I'm like, let me just speak to your supervisor. Her supervisor went home. Let me speak to the other supervisor. The supervisor busy. They about to get off work. Okay, well, you gonna solve my problems. So I'm like, sister, I understand you were supposed to get off 10 minutes ago and I was your last call and now I'm asking for a lot. That's why I would just rather to speak to somebody else that can pull up my 2023 documents and my 2024 documents and see where the change went at, because ain't no way I removed the Tesla and y'all still charging me $500 for Stewart. Y'all know how little Stewart is. Baby, I'm not paying no $500 for Stewart. Is you out of your rabbit mind? We got it under control. But I just want to say, Geico, been with y'all for 5+ years, but I'm starting to see that don't even matter anymore. That ugly ass gecko that y'all got advertising for y'all, baby, it ain't it. We'll be researching and looking for better insurance. Like a good neighbor, baby. State Farm me, yeah.
Now you see what being nice to your people do for you? But in all seriousness, $1,000 is most of people's paychecks. Are you kidding me? Not to mention, y'all was going crazy on the phone. How y'all gonna go crazy with me and y'all charging me an arm, a leg, a kidney, a heart, and a spine? Come on now, don't do that to me. Jay says $1,000 per month or every 6 months. The creator replied, per month. $6K for 6 months. Yeah, nah. There is no way. $6,000 for 6 months. Geico, so they expected somebody to come back and just accept that? Are you kidding me? People have to live, Geico. I don't know if you know this, but people do have mortgages. People do have rents. People do have things that they have to do other than pay car insurance. So maybe you should take that into account the next time you try to charge somebody $1,000. Life says, you actually paying it? Did you not call around to all insurance companies possible first? Because it's no way in hell. Jasmine says, I pay $160 a month for 2 vehicles from Progressive with 2 accidents in my history. Full coverage. How is yours $1K a month? Again, Geico was doing some crazy things. Naya says, girl, I pay $980 every 6 months, and I'm still trying to find lower. What the hell is going on? Yeah, they're tweaking. They done lost their britches. They done lost their britches. There's no way that I'm about to pay $1,000 every single month for something. Are you kidding me? That's money that could go in the stock market. That's money that could go into real estate. That's money that could go to any other thing other than car insurance. Are you not to mention that cars in and of themselves are liabilities, but that's a whole different conversation. What we're talking about is the fact that these insurance companies are getting way out of hand, and Americans are going to have to start finding alternatives to insurance. We're going to have to start telling people, I owe you one after we get into a car accident.
All right, the health insurance industry is an absolute sham. I don't know how I'm paying $1,500 a month for health insurance, but every single person in my policy has a $6,000 copay, which means I've been going to the doctor all year. I thought my copays went towards our premiums and the amount that we had to pay to get coverage. However, it doesn't. My wife just had a serious event. She had to go to the hospital. She had to have life-saving surgery. And we got a bill in the mail from the hospital for over $3,000 for this procedure. And I'm thinking back, like, I'm paying $1,500 a month for this health insurance. I've personally paid thousands of dollars over the course of this year in co-pays for myself and stuff that I had to go to the doctors for. So I'm sitting here thinking, I'm going to spend $1,500 a month for the next 12 months. What is that? 18 grand. And then I have to spend $6,000 a person just to get them to cover things. So you're looking at, we have 5 people in our family. If all of us have to go to the hospital, that's $30,000 in copays that we have to pay on top of the $18,000 in monthly charges to actually get coverage. As a father of 3, I'm strongly considering canceling our health insurance policy, which feels very irresponsible and wrong, but I can't remember the last time I spent over $48,000 in a year in health costs between copays and health insurance and all of this stuff. If I just pay cash, I'm never going to pay anywhere near that amount. For instance, the surgery my wife just had, if we paid cash on that surgery and we didn't have insurance, it would have ran us about $1,200. But because we had insurance and the insurance wasn't going to cover it, we have to pay what the insurance was going to pay, which is over $3,000. Are other families seeing the same thing? Maybe I'm just being unreasonable and crashing out here, but it just doesn't make sense to me.
First off, that boy must be balling paying all that money that he was talking about. So you telling me nowadays it's even cheaper to go without insurance than to have it? Huh? Nah. Fit for Justice says it will literally cost you less to pay out of pocket. Everyone needs to cancel their insurance in masses. Smart Cookie says, yes, we need to implode this effed up system. And this is what I mean when I say a capitalist society is one of booms and busts. This is ridiculous. And it makes sense. It makes sense why people are thinking this way. I mean, if you're going to consistently place profit over people, why should I be against making you suffer the consequences for that? Now you got families out here suffering because insurance companies want more money and are extremely greedy instead of looking out for the people that make these companies money in the first place. Coop says, went to the hospital. They asked if I had insurance and the bill would be $255. Cool, I can pay that. My father went to the ER with his insurance months later and got a $3,000 bill and now has a increased pay to make on his insurance because it went up 13% after he went to the hospital. Ain't no way. These folks are ridiculous. Sitting here charging people $3,000. And I can only imagine, how would these heads and CEOs of these companies feel if their family members and loved ones were placed in this predicament? But they don't care. That's indirectly what these people are telling you when they are giving you these abhorrent prices and crazy premiums. What they're telling you is, I don't really give a damn about your situation. And even if I did, I still want to make an extremely unreasonable amount of money off of you. You hear me?
So I don't normally jump on that health insurance is a scam, but today it is absolutely a scam and I swear it's fraud. I need an MRI on my back because I hurt my back. My clinic sent it over to a hospital. They ran it through my insurance. They called me and said, hey, your portion of it that you're going to have to pay after insurance is $5,100 for this MRI. So I'm like, wow, okay. I was like, before we do that, just wait, because I'm like, $5,100 just seems wild. I called another place who was also waiting for my insurance to go through to see how much it was going to be. My insurance was still on hold with them, but I asked them, hey, if I just cash pay this, how much is it going to cost for this MRI? And they're like, well, if you just want to cash pay it, not run anything through insurance, it's $700. And so I'm like, sounds a lot better than $5,100. So I called the original hospital back and said, hey, if I don't run this through insurance, what is the cost if I just decide to self-pay it, since I know the other place is $700? The lady's like, I'll rerun it under you being self-pay and I'll call you back with your total. So a few minutes go by, the lady calls me back and she goes, hey, I talked to my supervisor. Since you have insurance, we are not going to let you self-pay it, so we won't give you that number. How is that not a scam? Isn't it my choice if I want to self-pay something versus running it through my insurance? how I should get to decide that, not you. But they're like, nope, since you have insurance and you've already done it that way, we are not going to allow you to self-pay it. And I think that's because they probably were going to give me a self-pay price, kind of like the other place, maybe a $700, maybe up to $1,300, still way less than $5,100 that it was going to make me pay. And I just think, like, what if, you know, somebody wouldn't, like, what if I wouldn't have called around? I would have been stuck with this $5,100 bill. Insurance is such a ripoff. I don't know how in the world this hospital is telling me that I now can't self-pay it. What does it matter? I'm going to go to the other place, but I don't know how this hospital is allowed to now tell me, hey, yeah, you can't self-pay something if you have already had us run it through your insurance. I haven't even had it yet.
$5,100 for an MRI, and then she calls to another hospital only for them to tell her that it would only be about $700 some odd dollars. Finesse. And so these are the kinds of things that Americans are having to put up with. The reason why that hospital isn't going to allow her to go back and choose the lower price via self-pay is because now that they're aware that she has insurance, they want that higher premium. They want that higher price. And she's absolutely correct. I think morally speaking, she should be able to make the choice as to whether or not she wants to go through her insurance. Now they're making the choice for her. And now she's put in a predicament where if she hadn't searched around, which by the way, not everybody has the ability to do given their own personal circumstance, she would be forced to pay that $5,100 premium. Absolutely insane. Hannah Banana says, I've said that for years too. Insurance is the biggest freaking scam. Health, home, and car insurance. She also goes on to say, these companies should be required to pay you back what you paid in and didn't claim at the end of the year. And we need full transparency of pricing. Yep, I agree. But that means that these companies aren't going to be making nearly as much money. And so they're never going to agree with those terms unless we all come together collectively and say, we're not paying for insurance unless you decide to negotiate on these prices. Mr. Bad says, agreed. Since the pandemic, I've stopped getting health and auto insurance. Another person says, and they make it illegal or impossible not to have. This is my Roman Empire. Yeah. For some insurance policies, they make it illegal for you not to be able to have it. I think car insurance you're unable to not have. And so now you're forced in a position to deal with all of the finessing and scamming that these insurance companies do. Let's continue with the video.
So I'm scrolling on TikTok the other day, right? Watching all these videos of everybody talking about how much their health insurance is going to go up next year due to the tax credits that are going away. One lady said hers was going up from $138 to $858 in 1 year, which is ridiculous. So came across this doctor whose video showed her calling around to different places and showing you how much of a difference you would pay for things if you paid out of pocket versus what your doctor's offices, medical facilities would bill your insurance. So she called around to places that did MRIs. Found this place that was saying that the MRI was like over $1,000 if they billed your insurance, but only $205 if you paid out of pocket. What? So I'm like, okay, what the heck is really going on? So I keep scrolling through her page. Come to find out this doctor is a member of an organization of doctors all over the country who don't take insurance. What doctor do you know don't take insurance? I'm like, what the heck is going on? She says that what they do is you pay a membership fee to the doctor's office and you get an unlimited, I'm going to say that again, an unlimited amount of doctor's visits to their doctor's office. Now, for those of us who are getting insurance through the open market because we're paying out of pocket, and who may only go to the doctor once or twice a year, this is definitely for you. The membership fee, it's going to vary according to the doctor's office. So I'm in South Carolina. So I'm like, oh girl, there's probably nobody near me. I put in my zip code on the website. How about there's a doctor's office right down the road from me who's a member of this network? And the fee to be a member at this doctor's office is $79 a month. $79 a month versus $380 something a month
that I would pay for insurance for just myself. Ask me how fast I ran to the phone to call this doctor's office so that I could become a part of that network. I mean, I literally go to the doctor for a physical every year, and if my sinuses start acting up real bad about March, that's about it. So for those of you who may not go to the doctor's office a lot, may not have a lot of major health issues, but want to make sure that you have, a place that you can go if you need to go to the doctor, this is definitely an option. Oh, and the doctor's offices also do family plans, and they also will allow you as a single parent to add on a child. For the one down here close to me, $79 for one person, $30 extra to add on a child, and both of y'all have unlimited doctor's visits. You really can't beat that. You really can't beat that. Baby, an alternative, at least until the government gets straight whatever the heck they got going on with healthcare, which I hope to God they actually do get straight. So this is just an alternative option for you to consider. I'll post the doctor's video up under this post in the comment section, and I'll also put a link to the website where you can find any of the offices that are in your area. I hope this helps somebody. Have a good day.
Sister out here helping folk. But that sounds like a wonderful alternative for people. Instead of having to put everything in these stupid insurance companies' hands and the government hands, sounds like people are taking things into their own hands. And so now we have doctors all around the nation, according to her, who are deciding to have this plan set up where people could come in and get a much more affordable price than they would with an insurance company. Blue Sky Brown Eye says the doctors are getting sick of the insurance companies, and that says a whole lot. She Did It says the beauty of this is that while their networks are small right now and they have to refer you for specialists, it will eventually grow to include specialists too. Big win for patients and their care team. And it gets us back to better levels of care because the doctor is spending more than 10 minutes with you. Yeah, if a doctor has to spend more time with you because you are more looped in with their system, it makes more sense that they'll be more invested into you, because many of these doctors are not nearly as invested into their patients as they should be, but that's a completely different conversation. Tara Takes the World says, I currently self-pay to my endocrinologist, and other specialists. They said it works out better for the both of us. I'm hoping other doctors will start doing the same. So it seems like this is a viable option for many people. The only problem with it is that the system isn't big enough yet, but I guarantee you if more and more people hop on with this, then it will grow in size. Tala says, I'm a mental health provider and have started bypassing insurances and offering cash pay to my patients. It 100% works better for both of us. Example, one patient would be paying $202 for an initial appointment with me specialist due to their high deductible. I offered less than half that. I don't have to deal with insurance who loves to deny everything anyways, and he pays less. Win-win. Creativity is made out of necessity. And these are the kinds of things that people think of when they're in desperate situations. And they come up with these creative ideas that lead to a better overall society. Because these insurance companies are just scamming people. People are finding a way around it, and it's making everybody healthier and more profitable as a whole without the inclusion of them raggedy old companies. You heard me?
Out of my frustrations the other day about the whole health insurance thing, I started to do some research and I found something called direct primary care. It's not health insurance. This is what Google says it is. Direct primary care is a healthcare model where patients pay a monthly or annual fee to a primary care physician in exchange for unlimited access to certain medical services. Did some Googling. I found a direct primary care provider near me, went to their website, and this is what their membership includes. So it's a primary care membership. They don't take insurance. This is how they see patients. Membership for this specific clinic is a $150 join the practice fee. It's a one-time fee. And then every month for people aged 19 to 69, it's $100 a month. And with that $100 a month, It includes all primary care and preventative disease management, annual visits, and acute visits. With that $100 membership fee, your primary care services include preventative care, hormone replacement therapy, family medicine, women's health care, mental health care, diabetes, high blood pressure, medical Botox, weight loss program, treatment of acute disease, treatment of chronic disease, and medical weight loss. So with that $100 membership fee, you get all those services. And you can go to the doctor as many times you want without having to pay copays. You just pay that $100 and then you can get all of your primary care services. I am canceling my health insurance. I already scheduled my appointment with this clinic, and I'm gonna get my pap smear. I'm gonna get that blood work done that I wasn't able to get done the other day. And then I'm gonna get my anxiety prescription renewed under this clinic. Even just to sign up, you pay that $150 sign up fee. That's still cheaper than my medical insurance that I'm paying for right now. So to get started under this service, it'll cost me $250, and then every month after that, it'll be $100. That is so much cheaper than what I'm paying right now for my health insurance. I didn't get my lab work done because I knew if I went to the lab, I would have to pay like another $200 just to get those labs done. So I'm just gonna wait until my appointment with them, get my blood work done there, and it'll be cheaper. And I won't have to worry about paying another fee on top of my health insurance premium. So I'm canceling my health insurance, I'm doing this. So obviously you gotta do what's best for you. If you have a bunch of serious illnesses, if you go to the doctor a lot, this might not be the best option for you. But for me, as someone who's generally healthy, who doesn't go to the doctor that often, I feel like this is a much better and more financially reasonable option. So this is what I'm doing. I have my appointment scheduled. I'm actually excited. So yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. Also, the place that I'm going to, for my age range, which is 19 to 69, please ignore my dog. He's chewing on his bone. Okay. If you're age 19 to 69, like I am, it's $100 a month. If you're 70 plus, it's $110 a month. And if you're 2 years to 18 years, it's $60 a month. So do with that information what you will. This is just the clinic that's near me. I live in the DFW area. But I would highly recommend just searching if there's any direct primary care near you and just see what they have to offer, because so far this is sounding a lot better than health insurance. And let's bleed those health insurance companies dry. Like, they so deserve it. So bleed them dry. Do what's best for you.
And so this is what the sister in the previous video was talking about. This lady is referencing direct primary care, in which people are getting better deals and overall a better experience given that you are healthier. And I think the reason why it's more so targeted towards the healthier individuals is because they don't really provide specialists. However, if you are healthier, especially if you're on the younger side, it seems that direct primary care may be the best route for you. Texas says, canceled my work insurance last week and joined a direct primary care, $100 a month. Everything is included. Couldn't be happier. Oh, I did keep an FSA account with work non-tax dollars to pay for my direct primary care. Pissed Patriot says, this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm also going to get an AFLAC policy. Samuel says, this is exactly what I was wanting to do. You just gave me a push. Positively Luna says, oh my God, I want to do that, but I was worried about tax. Can you give me a little pointers? What's FSA? We can do some research on that right now. Google says FSA healthcare stands for Flexible Spending Account for Healthcare. It is a tax-advantaged benefit offered by some employers to help employees pay for qualified medical expenses. How it works: employees contribute a pre-tax amount of money to the FSA each year. This money can be used to pay for eligible medical expenses such as doctor's visits, prescription drugs, dental care, eye care, over-the-counter medications. Benefits, tax savings, contributions to an FSA are made with pre-tax dollars, reducing your taxable income. Reimbursement, eligible medical expenses are reimbursed from the FSA, effectively making them tax-free. Unused funds, in some cases, unused funds at the end of the year may be carried over to the next year. So overall, it seems like direct primary care is a viable option for many. And if you're able to take advantage of this FSA eligibility via your employer, it seems that it can even help you with your taxes when that time comes. But let's continue with the video.
So the first video I seen this morning when I woke up was a video about our insurance, right? And so I'll just use me for an example. I pay a little over $600 a month for medical, dental, vision, and all of that, you know, through my job. I pay a little over $600. So that's a little over $300 every 2 weeks. And that's for 2025. But for 2026, it's going to be like $2,100. It's going to be over $2,000 a month for medical, dental, or vision because of the things that's happening in our country or whatever it was that Trump did, which I don't know. But it gave me anxiety so bad because here's why. If I have to now pay $2,100 a month for benefits, I won't be able to afford it. I can't pay $2,100 out of my work check or I won't have a check, right? I'm spending my whole work check paying for benefits. This is so crazy. Now, tell me more about this. But again, this is the first video I seen when I logged into TikTok today. I did reach out to my to Anthem, but it's the weekend. I wasn't thinking. I just reached out immediately because it gave me a little bit of anxiety because open enrollment is next month. And I am going to have to decide if I'm going to go a year or two without insurance at all, right? Open enrollment starts in November, and I'm going to have to make a decision. Do I go ahead and get everything taken care of this year, go ahead and get mammograms, get everything I need to get done before the end of this year, and then next year go without insurance so that I can pay for my bills and housing and food and things so I can pay to even live? Like, what? So I got to choose between having health benefits and eating. You guys, did anybody else hear about this? Let's talk about it in the comments. Oh my God.
And guys, I know I've been joking around this entire video, and maybe even in my previous video, I've been joking a lot more and being a lot more lighthearted. But this is a very serious conversation. That sister did say something very touching. You have to choose between eating and having medical benefits. Eating and having health insurance. Eating and be able to get surgery done. Is that not crazy to you? Is that not ridiculous? What is American about that? It's already crazy enough that groceries are going sky high. It's already crazy enough that rent and mortgages are through the roof. Now Americans are having to put up with crazy insurance costs. It's just absolutely absurd.
Hey guys, it's Dr. Potter, and I think it's time that we have a hard conversation. You may have heard the news that with insurance companies, profits are down and they're saying premiums are going to go up and all of that. I think that one way to respond is by saying, okay, I guess we have to buckle down and pay more. I think saying that profits are down for insurance companies is really saying, okay, they're about to ask Americans to do something hard. They're about to ask Americans to pay more for a product that hasn't been meeting their needs. And what I want us to think about is whether paying into a system that hasn't been working for us and paying more for that care is really in our best interest as a society. So throwing good money after bad is usually not a good idea. And once we realize that we're getting a lot of denials and insurance companies are controlling care and controlling access, is that really a system that we want to feed more money? So what I want you to think about is whether you could get a catastrophic policy and then get the rest of your health care in the open market, self-pay, direct care. There's a lot of companies out there doing that. There's a lot of options to do that. And this is not an advertisement for those, and so I'm not going to mention them specifically here. But I think that if you see your premiums going up, it's time to sit down and ask,
what would it cost for me to get my mammogram, my lab work, my colonoscopy, my yearly checkup out of pocket with my doctor, self-pay, not through insurance, and then have a catastrophic policy so that if something bad happens, I've got coverage for trauma or cancer. I just don't know that we need to keep allowing these systems to take our money and not be there when we need it. So for doctors out there, I'd say start to think about how you would price your service. And I'm doing that. I'm looking at my surgery center and saying, okay, if someone comes to me and they want breast reconstruction and they don't want to go through insurance, how do I price that? What does it cost? And how can I offer that? And Americans, I would say, you have this power. Like, insurance companies actually aren't necessary for you to get just regular health care. What you need are good doctors, and you need for patients to have access to them and a way to pay for that. But we don't have to keep paying all of these exorbitant fees and extras just because we're going through an insurance company. It's a hard conversation, and obviously it's not right for everybody. But I think that you should stop and think. We've been told that being uninsured is like a super scary, dangerous thing. Okay, well, so is thinking that you have care provided for you and then finding out that it's not there when you need it. So maybe there's a difference between being uninsured and unprepared. And maybe there's a way to be prepared to be healthy and to take good care of yourself without having to buy super expensive insurance that may or may not be there for you when you need it. So yeah, interested in the conversation and want to talk about some of the companies that are doing this out there. But I know it's a weird concept, and I know that we've all been scared of that, of not having insurance. I think we need to start thinking about unwrapping this and letting go of the notion that we have to have this super expensive insurance in order to be healthy in the US. It's going to take patients and doctors and providers all agreeing to come up with prices that work in the marketplace. Curious to hear your thoughts.
And frankly, this is what it's all about. Americans coming together and deciding amongst themselves, we are not going to tolerate what these insurance companies have been giving us. We are no longer going to pick up what they've been putting down. And so we have to think about alternative ways to combat a system of exploitation. And I think what this lady has pointed out is very clear and very justifiable. For many people, getting a different kind of care, getting a different kind of service instead of insurance may be the better option, especially considering there are Americans now that are choosing between having to eat and cover themselves as far as their medical expenses are concerned. And so it's very important that we sit down and we have these conversations, whether they be online or in person. This dialogue is very critical, and our actions are even more important, because without proper action, then these kinds of things will never change. But thank you for tuning into this video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to see more, and I will see you in the next one.